Ladies and gents, boys and girls, Doug's Dig Ass, hello, what's good? It's your boy. Today, we're doing my top 10 favorites. That's correct, the ones I like a lot. My favorite monsters in Monster Hunter. Now, my list has always been kind of weird, and they really are, and I'm looking at this list. I actually talked to a couple of my friends, and I saw their list, and I saw my list, and I compared the two, and I was like, wow, I am really weird, but you guys might feel that my list might be a bit, I guess weird too, but hey, these are just the monsters that I like. I mean, they're some of my favorites, you know, like they all have amazing things about them that make me like them as much as I do. And I'm sure it's the same thing for you guys when you talk about your favorites, but these are my favorites, you know what I mean? I've been playing this series for a very long time. I've had a chance to fight practically everything, and this is what I really like. And with that being said, let's dive directly into the video and let's get into it. Okay, starting it off right, we have Celsus Queen. Now, Celsus Queen is a really cool monster. I like it. I like her a lot, I should say. There's no way you can get it, you know, misconstrued. It is queen. It is female. Like Raytheon and Celsus Queen, those are the two real female monsters. You can't say, well, I think it's a he. Well, it's kind of in the name and in the story. Regardless, Celsus Queen is really cool because she debuted in the 4th generation. And with her, I was like, okay, it's an insect monster. It looks pretty cool. I got into the fight. Yo, the fight was really fun. It was kicking my face in, you know. And I was like, wow, tough fight. So that's good. That's a plus. So when you're a good hunt and you're a good design, I like that. When I go to make the armor, it's Gundam armor, but for gun lance. I was like, this monster is perfect, and I like it for that. I like it because it's the full package. When it comes down to it, it has everything about a monster that I really like about it. It has unique characteristics. The fact that it's it's an insect thing, and it uses the Celsus male as like they form like Voltron, dead serious, so they become a better fighter. And in a pinch, it will even throw the male Celsus at you to kill you in a desperate attempt to actually, you know, win the day. Yo, Celsus Queen is amazing, and I love you because of all that you are. I can hear you now, guys. I know. Yes, I know. Okay, stop. I know. Gee, come on, guys. I said I know. No one likes this guy, okay? No one does. But I do. Like, honestly, when I first saw him for the first time, I'm like, wow, this is this huge, massive snake thing. A huge, massive snake monster. And his design is incredible, okay? The cutscene when you first walk onto his platform, I forget it was called the something Spire. When you first walk on there, it's really cinematic. It's really cool. It gets you in the feel. The music is there. The fight is there. The gear is not there. The gear is terrible, but like I like everything else about this monster. A lot of people say it's a really boring, sleepy fight, but I really get into it. Him and his subspecies are really, really fun to fight. I chose the original one though because it was the original one that made me have these feelings for the first time. A lot of times when I pick a monster to be one of my favorites because of how that monster makes me feel when I'm fighting it and as I fight it for the first time. And every time I fight Dalamadur, I feel as if like I'm like this is it. You know what I mean? Like this is the final boss, you know what I mean? And that's why I like my man so much because of it. Other people might not like him because of that, but I do. Okay, so there's a story about me liking this guy. Alright, anyway, when I first saw my first trailer for Monster Hunter Ultimate, and I saw this monster, I'm watching her like, yeah, you know, Monster Hunter, okay, yeah, okay, got you. And I was like, yo, what is that? Yo, go back. Whenever I do a thing like that, totally interested, obviously. But when I got to fight my man, I'm like, yo, he is so cool. It was the first time I ever fought a snake, wyvern in Monster Hunter. Yes, Dalamudur's on the list, but this is the original love for that whole concept. I like everything about this monster save for its armor. Its armor is really cool looking, but its skills are very lackluster. But the fight, when you fight this guy, it's tough. It's always tough. Every time I fight him, he's a wall. Even to this day, when I fought him for the first time in Double Cross, he's still a wall. He put me on my back multiple times, and so he has that good hunt factor. His gear, not very good. It's still very pretty, and there's just so much to the guy, you know, like they change him up every now and then, subtle stuff, but a lot of things he could do, like throwing the scales that you make, cause them to explode with hypersonic sounds and things like that. There's just a lot of stuff going for the guy, and I really like him because he has so many options, you know what I mean? So for a monster to actually fight back with real earnest, with a lot of options, makes me happy to know that when I actually go to fight this monster for real, the hunt is gonna be fantastic, and this guy doesn't disappoint. So I bet you're wondering, why is Gypceros on the list, bro? Like, why? I'm like, well, he was my original favorite monster of all time, dead serious. Back in the day, back in the original Monster Hunter joint and in Freedom, I used to play those games all the time. I'd fight him, like, I used to fight him just because, you know how you have a warm-up fight? He would be my warm-up fight, you know, and I would like fighting him because he was just so interesting, and he was so nutty. He's like the most nuttiest monster out of all the nuttiest monsters to ever nut, okay? He's crazy. I mean, I can't find the video right now, but I believe there's a video of him where he was running up a wall. I'm like, yo, this monster is crazy. He fakes his own death. He runs vertically up walls. I mean, like, who designed this man? Because he's so crazy and he's so wild and he's out there, I like him for it. His armor is hideous, okay? It's not really that good. His weapons are kind of whatever, unless you like poison, you know, they can be really, really good. Back in the day, his poison battle axe was like the best weapon in the entire game. I love that joint to death. But is the fact that he was the first monster that made me feel like a real hunter, you know what I mean? He was one of the first ones that actually said, okay, I can beat him. He's not super hard, but he's like a punching bag. He trained me to become the person that I am today, kind of, you know what I mean? So that's really why I like him, and because he's weird, okay? He's the craziest, most ludicrous thing in all of monster. There is no other monster as crazy as this guy. There's others that are kind of like crazy like him, but nah, my man Celsus is the original nut butter, alright? And for that, my man made the list, and is really why I like him so much. Maybe not as much as I used to, but he's still definitely there. You're forever in my heart, bro. Giga Knox, aka Uncle. I bet you're wondering, hey Dak, you got some kind of crazy story? You had stories for everybody else so far. You got a crazy story as to why you like this guy? I do. Simple story, actually, very simple. Not crazy, it's fairly simple. Okay, everyone hold on to your seatbelts. Hold them horses. If you don't have any horses, go buy some horses and hold on to them. Giga Knox is an elder dragon. I said it. That's right. I said it. I don't want to hear from the first person to say otherwise is getting blocked. Dead ass. Alright, I'm kidding. But no, really, even though he's not actually an elder dragon, so it goes to classification, I deem him as such, okay? There's a lot of things going for him that elder dragons also have. I mean, he has full control of of all his faculties being ice, okay? He can summon it. He can roar and summon it. He can shoot out of his mouth. I mean, this guy, he is a walking icy catastrophe. Why is he not an elder dragon? It's beyond me. Regardless, I love him as a fight. Okay, you have Auntie, you have Uncle. Auntie's pretty cool, but Uncle's where it's really nice at. Uncle has the ability, like I said, to shoot the ice or whatever, and he can, I guess, swim through the ice and cause you to, he swim through the ice, you know what I mean? Like, not much else to say about that. However, a thing that really gets me really hyped about this guy is his G-rank form. He's very aggressive this time around, and he will really put the mac on you. I mean, I've been in many hunts where we're fighting this guy and we triple cart like all the time. Most of the time, whenever I lose, it's because of a triple cart kind of endeavor. I think right now we're about like 50-50 in terms of win and loss success rate, so I have to respect him humbly for that. So the fact that he's a very tough fight, his gear is absolutely amazing, his armor is beautiful, and he's an elder dragon who, in my opinion, should be given more love. That's why he's on the list. And he's pretty fucking badass. I mean, look at the guy. I mean, jeez. I like big things, and he's a big monster. Has big armor too. I like big armor. So yeah. Okay, I remember vividly. It was I think it was June 2009, I believe. Was it 2009? Regardless, I just came from high school. I was on my way. I was going into college, but college didn't start up yet. And I was playing Try, and I was hunting Giga Knox. And I was only hunting Giga Knox because I wanted to make its lance. And in order to make its lance, you needed a Wyvern gem. And according to the wiki, you can get the Wyvern gem from fighting Giga Knox. My idiot self forgot to actually fight, or didn't think to rather, to fight him online in high rank. So I'm fighting Village Giga Knox for days, okay? Absolutely days. One of my homeboys' girlfriend came in and saw me playing the game one day. I was like, okay, this is a really cool game. Came back 2 days later, and so I was still fighting the same monsters. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, man. So, weird story, but I respect Giga Knox for everything that it stands for, and the fact that I was able to fight a monster for days and not get tired of it, is paramount to how much I actually like fighting the guy. So I don't have to say anything else about that. Okay, its gear is amazing, obviously, or I wouldn't be fighting for days for it. The fight is really, really cool, like really cool. And back in Trials even better because you have to micromanage the torches and lighting system and everything like that. So, I mean, everyone gives Giga Knox a lot of crap because they say Kezu's better, but yo, Kezu ain't got nothing on Gigi, cuz I don't care who came first. Alright, this is the original wall monster. Okay, like I've played Monster Hunter for dozens of years, wow, for about 9 years now. And Diablos, every single iteration of this monster, every time I had to fight it, I almost never win the first time. I've had to fight him multiple times over and over again. It wasn't until when the game got a lot easier, like I guess like 4U and stuff with the mounting and everything, that I was actually okay. I was able to fight the monster for the first time and win on my first try. But Diablos is a very, very, very long-standing monster. Its inception, well, it got its inception with Monster Hunter first coming out, so back in like 2004, I believe. Regardless, very tough monster. Doesn't shoot any fire, doesn't shoot anything like all the other weapons do, even though it looks very similar to other weapons, similar to like Rathos, whatever. Its main way of beating your head in is with ass whipping. Okay, this monster, I love him so much because he will whip your ass with ass whipping. Okay, that's it. He will run you down, he'll gouge you with his horns. That's how he fights. Okay, he doesn't need gimmicks like breath or some kind of poison thing or like a wind pressure barrier. No, my man just says, you're in my living area, I'm going to beat you up, okay, until you're no longer living or in my area, one of the two. And I respect it for that. And because it's so hardy and how it actually goes down with it, I mean, you just can't like hate the man for it. So with that being said, Diablos, you have my utmost respect. It's my most respected monster in Monster Hunter, and I love you to death for it. Alright, Royal Ludroth. Let me explain. Royal Ludroth is an amazingly designed monster. He's, I believe, the first Leviathan you fight in Monster Hunter Tri. So he's an introduction to fighting underwater. Alright, a lot of people didn't like fighting underwater. I, however, love fighting underwater more than anything else in Monster Hunter, obviously. So when I go to fight him for the first time, we didn't really have a big underwater battle. It was just the design of the monster himself. His roar, I mean, his roar sounds like a falcon screech or whatever. I mean, it actually was when I looked it up later on in life. But his armor is really cool looking. His armor is really, it looks like Eskimo armor, so it's really cool looking. The abilities on it are kind of hit and miss depending on the game. And he's an underwater battle. There's a lot of things about him that make me like him right off the bat because of, you know, other parameters that I set for other monsters, etc. But one thing, his most unique thing for me when fighting this guy, especially back in Tri and sometimes in 3 Ultimate, is that this monster, when he decides to leave an area, he is going to leave that area. Okay, me and my brother, we would fight this guy for like long hours, right? And whenever he decides to leave an area, like he's tired and he's limping away, we couldn't kill him before he left the area. He would leave the area, get hit once in the next area, and then die. But my man, he's leaving, all right? I love him because of this tenacity. Okay, a while ago I said I like big monsters, right? Well, welcome to not like the biggest monster in all of Monster Hunter, but like one of the bigger monsters in all of Monster Hunter. And at one point in time, the biggest monster in Monster Hunter, Genmoron. People pronounce his name all sorts of ways. I don't really care. Okay, I don't really care. And we got a story, because we always got a story. So check it out. The very first time I fought Monster Hunter Tri, obviously, and for whatever reason, bro, no one would hunt him with me. I mean, he was an event quest. Back in Tri, when an event quest would happen, the whole online changed. It wasn't just, oh, you go talk to a person, you have a huge list of event quests, and you just do it, and you do it whenever you want to. No, okay? There were limited time quests that had effects on the entire online hub. When Gen would come in, there would be a sandstorm in the entire hub area. Dialogue for NPCs would change. Different NPCs would show up, others would leave. Because sandstorms, a lot of people go inside their homes and things. And other people who actually are hunters and whatnot, they will stay outside. Regardless, the whole setting for the entire game would change. So that's a huge bonus. And when you fight him, bro, when I fought him for the first time, I had to fight him solo. Imagine me fighting Gen solo. It took like 8 tries, but everything about him was just like so perfect. Okay, the music was stunning. The fight was, for me, it was like he is so big, I have to get on his back to whip his ass, okay? That blew my freaking mind, all right? His gear is absolutely phenomenal. I love his gear. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love his weapons and everything. There is very little about this monster that I actually do not like. And for the most part, just understand that, yo, he's my favorite Elder Dragon of all time, and he's definitely my #2 favorite monster of all time, for sure. Okay, so this is no surprise to anyone that Urigen is my favorite monster of all time. I mean, I talk about him all the time. He's my favorite. I love him to death. I mean, I have a little Urigen figure that sits on top of the microphone that I'm speaking into right now. For those who watch my live streams, you know about how Urigen sits on the microphone, okay? I love him to death. Like, I'm gonna tell you exactly why I love him. He's my #1 favorite. I was lancing three years before I fought him in Tri. And it wasn't until I fought him in Tri that I actually realized that I am good at lancing. He was the monster that finally tipped that scale. You know when you need that 1 XP to level up, and then you turn into like some super omega something in a video game or whatever? Urigen is that monster for me. It was when I defeated him with my lance when I was like, I'm good at lancing, and this is it. Lance is like that solidified it for me. I was lancing for years before, but I was just kind of, you know, it was the one I was comfortable with. Now, I feel as if it was because of him I am what I am today. So Urigen, I love you for making me who I am today, and also your armor in Trial was very nifty. Granted, your armor sucked every time since then, but you're still Urigen variant, bro. Ooh. Yo, still Urigen. It has to be, bar none, the greatest slap gun lance armor of all time. There's no substitute. It's so good that it's one of the best lance armor sets of all time. So that's why I love my man Urigen. He always is there for your boy, and I like to be there for my mans too. But yeah, guys, that's why he's #1, because Dak 908 is speaking to you right now because of this guy. So you should thank Urigen next time you fight him. Anyway, though, guys, it's been your boy Dak 908, aka the Dig Dug himself. Hopefully, you guys found my video, well, my top 10 list, to be kind of interesting. I just had to go a little bit different. Since it was my favorite thing, like my favorite list, I want to give you guys a little bit of backstory as to like why I like these monsters, like actual real life backstory. Because I could just sit here and say, oh, it's a beautiful monster and has a blah, blah, blah. That's boring. Okay, I want to give you the real reasons to why I feel for this monster and why I'm so adamant about the ones that I chose. But with that being said, everyone, it's been your boy. We'll do another one of these maybe later. Exactly when, I don't know. But yo, let me know what you want to see from me on the next time, or on the next top 10. And as always, take care.